That's a very handy way to navigate around a document, but I'm actually going to take it one step further and show you a combination of tools that I tend to use on a regular basis. So I'm going to go ahead and put the Pages palette away. And the tools that we're looking for aren't actually visible by default, so we're going to go find them. I'm going to go to Tools, Select and Zoom, and the first thing that I want is the Pan and Zoom window. Now the Pan and Zoom window is very much like the Pages panel in that it shows me an overall page in a thumbnail view. And I can resize it if I want to. I don't need it to be quite so large, and I don't want it taking up so much of my screen space, so I'm just going to shrink it a little bit. And then I'm going to move it off to the side so that it's not covering anything. Now, in the document window itself, I'm going to take the magnifying glass and I'm going to click and drag to focus on this photograph. And I've zoomed in on the photograph. And actually, I'm going to move the Pan and Zoom window over here to get it over the text. But I'm not satisfied with that zoom factor. I want to see the large version of the woman in the wedding dress, and I want to see some of the text around it. Plus, I want the Pan and Zoom window to show me the overall context of the document. But I also want to focus in on that set of roses that are laying on the bottom of the wedding dress. To do that, I'm going to go back to the Tools menu and choose Select and Zoom, the Loop tool. And the Loop tool will make my cursor look sort of like a little square in crosshairs, and I'll kind of waggle it around there so you can see it. Whatever I click on with that tool is going to magnify and show in its own little window. So let me show you what I mean. I'll click and I'll move it so that the Loop tool window is not covering the Pan and Zoom window. And now you can see that I've got all three views of the document in one place at the same time. I have the overall document view in thumbnail version. I've got the Loop tool, which allows me to zoom in on the roses that I'm looking at. And I've got the sort of medium magnification view, which allows me to see a close-up of the woman in the wedding dress, yet see it in the context of the text that's sitting around it. And as with the Pages panel, I've got these little rectangles that I can use to change the zoom factor. So in this case, I'm going to zoom in the document window from the Pan and Zoom and move the position around. And I can also change the zoom factor of the Loop tool with this little rectangle here. If you're working with a document that you need to look at some detail, you need to look at some fine detail, but you also need to see it in the context of the overall document, the combination of the Pan and Zoom, the Loop tool, and the document window is an excellent way to have all three views of the document available to you at the same time.